Hey everyone! So today we have a pretty fun video.
Bridget's barbershop.
Yes. And this is...
George Jefferson, her first client.
No, this is Sean. This is my husband, guys. So this is the before of his haircut.
Whew.
And then this is me here combing it out.
Look at those COVID curls.
I was super excited, as you can see. And so let's speed this up. Now I am just combing out the hair.
I'm not nervous.
Sean is super duper nervous. And then here what I'm doing is trimming it. Now this is my first time ever using a clipper, you guys, ever in my life. So I'm basically just experimenting right here. But don't tell Sean.
Trust me, I knew.
So what I'm doing here is trying to figure out which attachment to add in. The lower the number, the closer to his scalp that I get. And so now I'm about to start the fade. And so I went in with a 1 so that I could cut off a lot of his hair. And so as you see here, I am cutting it off. And Sean is telling me something, babe. What were you telling me here?
I was just relaying a message. My hairline was trying to tell you not to mess up. And
that's why you keep pointing at your hairline.
Lock in and stay focused so that you do a great job and don't have me looking crazy.
And so here I am just cutting it down, and I'm using the 1. I was really supposed to, according to the tutorial I found, supposed to use no attachment, which is called a 0. But I wasn't brave enough yet. So I said, let me just go in with a 1. And so that's what I'm doing here. I know Sean must be nervous. How are you feeling?
Well, let's just say at that point, I might have been praying. I might have been texting my friends to pray for me.
That's hilarious.
But I appreciated the fact that you were really focused.
I really was focused though. So here I get the 2 to kind of even it out a little bit on top, because I realized that I needed another layer there. I didn't want it to look like he had a bowl on his head, because that's how it looks right now.
So she went for the broccoli fade.
And so now you see me, I have the 3 in my hand. So I kept switching back from the 3 to the 2 because I didn't want to cut off too much of that section. So, oh yeah, here I needed a little tutorial to make sure that I was using the lever right. And so Sean looked it up for me.
Not using the lever right could have gone really bad.
And so here I go in one more time with the 1 to even out those patches. There you go. The patch is gone right there by his ear. And then I was brave and I went in with no attachment, just a 0 to do the bottom layer. And I was so nervous, you guys. But Sean has no clue. Right, babe? You had no clue that I was so nervous?
I had an idea. You got really quiet.
And so I went in and I'm just trying to even out that line the best that I can. Ask Sean if he thinks it's high enough or not. And so he gave me the okay. And so I went back in and I did a 0 on top of that, but a high 0. And so that's why the lever, me figuring out if it was right or not, was very important. And so I did a higher 0 here, and I'm just blending it in, and Sean is probably super nervous.
Well, as you were inching closer and closer to the tail end when doing the shape up comes in, you could probably see, if you look close, there's sweat forming on the forehead.
You were nervous? So here, basically what I'm doing is trying to remove that bowl shape. And I had no clue how to do that, by the way. Honestly, you guys, I really was just like grabbing different numbers. So I went from like a...
I'm glad 4. I know that now.
But I went in with a 4. Then I went in with a 3. And I'm like, okay,
so you just counting your numbers?
Basically.
Did you even know what the numbers meant when you started? Or were you like, oh, 3 must be, let me see. 4 is cut more. 2, ooh.
2, ooh?
Yeah, let's go to 1 and be done.
I did know, because I watched like 100 tutorials. This was way harder than I thought, so shout out to the barbers out there.
You mean shout out to the moms? Every time I saw you watching the video, it was a mother cutting their little 5-year-old son's hair. And it's okay to mess up on little Timmy's hair, because he just going to kindergarten. He not going to a corporate boardroom for a meeting where grown men won't make eye contact with me because they want to look at my hair.
Well, you're still on lockdown, so technically you don't have any corporate meetings.
They just do it virtually.
That's true. Good point. You could actually see the fade happening here. Yay! And yes, shout out to the moms, because I did watch a lot of tutorials from moms. My 2 favorite tutorials were from 2 moms, by the way. Alright, so you see me with the scissors. That's when it actually clicked in my head, like, oh, this is basically layers. I don't know why it clicked, but after that I started to kind of understand a bit more how to blend it out more. And so that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, it went from barbershop to salon real quick.
When I pulled out the scissors?
When you started pulling out the layer talk and the scissors, yeah.
So funny. So here I am trying to blend in the back. It was hard though to try to blend it so that it looks smooth. I know, yeah, it took me a long time. That section took me a really long time.
Wow, look at my neck. Anybody have any recommendations on where I can buy a barber's cape? Thank you in advance.
They're probably gonna say Amazon.
I thought about wearing my barbecue apron.
Oh yeah, you should have. So then here I'm using the 2 to just cut it down a little bit, the sides, and now you see I'm getting close to the end, you guys. What were you thinking?
It's almost time for that lineup.
You were nervous about that?
That's the most nerve-wracking part of any cut.
The lineup?
Oh, it gets real serious during the shape up. Not a lot of talking going on.
So, explain this part.
Well, first let's shout out the inventor of the Cut Buddy. Awesome job. I mean, seriously, without the Cut Buddy, Bridget was gonna have my hairline looking like the number 3 or a McDonald's logo.
And here is the finished look.
You did a great job.
Thank you. This is the next day with natural light. All right, turn to the side. There you go. There's the side. There's the other side. Oh, yeah. Okay, turn to the back. Let's see how the back looks. What you guys think? How you feel, babe?
I feel like a new man. In the words of my boy Dasmir, who was cutting my hair for many, many years, I looked in the mirror and I said, welcome back.